Oh, that was a bit of a dapper, man. Oh, shit.
I forget how to do this.
We start a new game of chess.
In case you missed it, we finally finished it. And we're sitting at about 2-0 right now.
I don't want to talk about it.
It was a big deal. Look how dusty the middle of the board is because it just didn't get fucking not used for so long. And I think we better give you the first move. We'd best.
Well, yeah, that's like a courtesy move.
It's a love move.
I'm gonna do this one because I don't know.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I forgot the fucking thing. Welcome back to the Split Shit podcast, where we cut through the bullshit and the noise of the fitness fucking industry. My name's Jamie.
Oh no!
No, not again.
Shit.
This is why we don't have 2 weeks off.
My name's Dan. I'm gonna go fuck myself. Welcome to the new episode. I thought I was going to be running strong without a testy pop today, and I opened with the pop. Man.
But I feel like if you get the pop out of the way early, surely,
Either it goes...
whatever that means.
It goes one of two ways. Either goes, it's one and done, we're sorted, or it opens up the floodgates, like I broke the seal, and I'm just going to get 10 more. But we'll find out. So, we got a couple questions today. We're going to be opening up with some awesome, compelling questions, common questions that Jamie and I have for each other, and we're going to run through it. We've got about 6 minutes each.
We do.
We've got a 6 minute timer to discuss these things that you may have issues in the past, or what we've experienced with ourselves and also with many clients over the years, these particular issues. We'll find out. So I have a question for Jamie.
You know what else is really cool? I moved the horse first. I don't think I've ever in the history of chess moved a horse first. And that's kind of a big deal.
That is a big deal. Well, interesting.
He's whipping the queen out already.
Big queen out.
That's pretty gnarly.
The big Q. I got a question for you, Jimbo. Shall we do this?
I'm ready.
I'm excited.
I'm ready. Again, feels like fucking forever.
I know. Oh, actually,
what's wrong?
We should probably explain our absence.
Oh, yeah. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal.
It's a big deal.
Oh, my days.
Jimbo and I, we went away for a little getaway together, and plus two others. But we went to Uluru.
We did. We went to the Red Centre.
Red Centre. It was beautiful. Highly recommended. We ran a marathon. It's called the Outback Marathon Shout Out. 42.2 kilometres of...
But who's counting, right?
Of bliss.
I mean, I did 42.2.
I did 41.85 according to Strava. So I was counting. I was fucking counting for sure.
How much does that suck?
So I've done 2 marathons. Technically, by Strava, I've done none. I'm just PB.
It would actually say in your little Strava when you go to marathon history, it would have 0 head.
That's
so rough.
It's
so heavy.
You know what it says? Of like you PB'd in your 30 kilometers.
Oh,
30 kilometers. The disrespect.
Dude.
Whatever, man.
So we did that, and it was stunning. We did a marathon. We got very, very drunk.
Very pissed.
We flew a helicopter. We didn't fly a helicopter.
Well, we didn't fly a helicopter. No, God, no.
Definitely shouldn't be flying helicopters, but we did that as well.
Saw Uluru from the top. Mount Olga. Shout out to Mount Olga. We see, bro. That
underappreciated, eh?
Well, underappreciated.
Underappreciated.
I bet half of you didn't even know what Mount Olga existed. If you don't know, look it up. Trust me.
If you go to Uluru, you'll know what the Olgas are because it's the only other thing out there.
It's
like a rock.
It's the other big.
Oh, look, there's another rock.
There's another big rock.
Is that one?
And it's, in my opinion, a lot cooler. We can debate about it.
A bit more unique.
Yeah, very unique. Shall we shoot the question?
We'd best.
Let's do it.
Chat.
Fuck, I could talk about Uluru and that experience a lot. We had a lot of espresso martinis, strawberry.
A lot of espressos. Yeah, the strawberry daiquiris were brilliant.
One
beer and a million cocktails.
Yeah, and
met some very cool people.
Some very cool people. We had crocodile, these crocodile like, whatever the fuck it was. I don't even remember it.
We had a lot of stuff, but we were very not sober.
Nah, that point.
Yeah,
those poor families. We were.
Anyway,
let's do this.
We better start. Danny, what's your question, bro?
I've got a question. Actually, I don't have a question for you.
Don't have a question?
I've got a statement for you.
Oh, okay.
Cue the quote. Spotlight.
There is a spotlight.
I only show up and stay consistent when I am hating myself. Do you have anything to say?
That sucks. That sucks for you, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to hate yourself forever. Or you may. Without that being a question, 6 minutes.
How do you navigate that?
There's not a lot to say. You know? But yes, I only show up consistently
when I'm
hating myself.
There's a lot of pain. A lot of pain in my circumstances.
Yep, a lot of people do deal with that. I think that's a very valid statement, you know? Again, it's not ideal. It means that you've rooted your progress, rooted your health and fitness area of your life. You've rooted that whole thing, progressing in that area. You've rooted that with a punishment. You know, you've rooted it with negativity. It's like, so many people come to me with that sort of issue, you know? It's like, I need to be in emergency mode. I need to be hating myself to be able to make any progress. I need to be freaking out, hitting the panic button. Otherwise, I'm not doing anything, you know? And then obviously the panic can only last so long. I would, let's relate it to say like a fire alarm in your house. You got a fire alarm in your house. When it goes off, you're either freaking out because there's a fucking fire and you got to immediately either put that fire out or get out of the house so somebody else can put the fire out. Or the fire alarm's going off because you overcooked your fucking bacon or you burnt your toast and you're there with a fucking tea towel, or I use a whiteboard, a little handheld, like a small whiteboard, and I'm there in front of the fire alarm doing this until it stops screaming at me because I'm like, I don't want that screaming at me anymore. I need to make sure I sort that out. You do not want to base your health and fitness or your progress in this area around a panic button. You don't want to, what is that water sound? Did you hear that?
I thought it was a fish.
We don't have a fish. That was weird. Did you hear that? Anyway, you don't want to relate it to panic. You don't want to have a punishment base responsible for your progress. If you do, anything that you achieve will be short-lived and you can have this negative connotation with this area of your life. Whenever you think about gym, it's going to be negative. Whenever you think about food, it's going to be negative. Whenever you think about your body, even if you do achieve awesome results and you start to be like, wow, I'm looking really nice, it's still going to be with a negative backing. You're going to have those negative foundations. So we need to make sure that, again, with that isn't a question, it's still a statement. We need to sort that the fuck out. Yes, we want to make sure that we're not wiring to respond to emotional emergencies. All right. We don't want to be dealing with things in our life, not even just health and fitness, but anything in general, just because it's an emotional emergency. You know, emotions come, they go, they flow like the fucking ocean. You know, sorry for swearing, but I fucking love swearing. They flow like the ocean. They're never going to be predictable. You know, you can definitely set yourself up for success in that area with emotions by changing your environment, all that sort of stuff, making things easy for yourself. But at the end of the day, anything attached to emotions is going to be inconsistent. So we want to make sure that this area of your life is not attached to emotions, definitely not hate. All right. And there's a few things I do around that. First thing, like we do with anything, is catch the problem when it's happening. So if you notice, I just woke up this morning and I looked in the mirror, I got out of the shower, I looked in the mirror and I'm like, fuck, I look fat today. Fuck, I look fat. Oh, I'm going on Jenny Craig. I'm definitely fucking sending that inquiry through. I need to make sure that I'm getting on Jenny Craig, doing something about this because I feel like fucking shit. Catch that and just do nothing with that emotion for now. Actually ask yourself why you feel like shit. Why am I hating myself? Is it because of my physique? Is it because I'm actually not showing up for myself and showing myself the self-respect that I deserve? Because that could be a thing as well. Pick apart why you actually hate yourself. Why am I hating myself in this moment? Is it because I am comparing myself to others, who could potentially have an unrealistic physique for where I'm at right now? Or maybe I'm resenting them for having that result that I want where I don't want to put the actual work in, you know? And they're keeping the result. They're achieving the result and keeping it. And I fucking hate that because I just can't keep that result. But they haven't hated themselves there. You know, figure out why you're actually hating yourself. And then when that comes up, catch yourself out and make sure that you're not making drastic action with that emotion. So making sure, step 2, make sure you do not make a plan or make actions with that emotion. Make all your actions when you are neutral. Appreciate that you feel like shit, appreciate all that stuff, appreciate when you're really motivated, but try to make your plans for your progress and whatever you're going to do for the next however long. Make plans for that when you are neutral. When you're at that neutral setting, you're not overly stimulated in a positive way. You're also not overly stimulated in a negative way. Don't make decisions when you're hating yourself because they will not be sustainable. Exactly the same way as if you are really motivated, don't make all your decisions then, because likely you're going to make decisions and commitments that you're not going to be able to stick to. All right. So from there, make sure that you're step 3, make sure that you're setting minimum standards instead of maximum effort. All right. So set your standards for your minimum. So what's my baseline? What's my baseline that I'm going to commit to either each day, each week, each month, so I can just get used to showing up for myself. Base this area out of self-respect instead of self-hatred. Even if you do fucking hate yourself right now, that's okay. We can break that apart. That's a whole different thing altogether. But you must rewire that, get rid of that fucking hate, or even ignore that hate for now and focus on self-respect. How can I show up for myself? Your results will be a lot better for one, but also a lot more sustainable. All right. So set minimum standards rather than maximum effort. All right. Anything that's max effort, you're not going to be able to fucking stick to. You got to separate the action from the emotion. All right. So if you can obviously, if you're setting all your targets when you are overly stimulated, fuck that one quick. If you're setting all your targets when you are overly stimulated, say when you're hating yourself or even super, super fucking loving yourself, whatever, it will be unsustainable, but you're also wiring all this area in your life with emotion. All right. So making sure that when you set those actions, those commitments for yourself, you're showing up regardless of the emotion. You're not going full fucking crazy when you're really motivated, but you're also not letting emotion stop you from doing the basics. When you do set those minimum standards, you're still showing up regardless of how you feel. All right. Then making sure that you're expecting the discomfort, that complete discomfort. You're going to feel like shit with that stability because it's going to be slow. It's going to be a boring grind. You're going to have to show up when you don't feel like it. Your weight loss is going to be slow. Expect that discomfort. Expect to not feel easy. Expect to feel like a bit uncomfortable because you're used to faster results, you know? And you need to align your goals with the values that are intrinsic, all right? Don't align your goals with comparison to others. Don't align your goals to fucking, again, getting to a certain fucking gene size just because you feel like shit if you don't. Align it to the things you actually care about, the things that turn you on inside, or maybe not turn you on. Well, you can align things to turn you on, but the things you actually care about, we talk about this all the time. Align it with the things that, I'm not going to say turn you on again. Align it with the things that actually get you going. You know, if it is your kids, if it is your work, if it is things that you actually fucking care about inside instead of just all these external factors, make sure that you're not aligning your goals to fucking hate because that is going to be short-lived and it's going to be ridiculously negative for this whole area of your life. All right, I went way over. What do you got to say about that, Dan?
6 minutes done, bro.
It's well done.
6 minutes was done. No, that was very, very well put. Very well, very well fleshed out, man. That was really good. It's a heart fleshed out. Very, very fleshed.
I don't even.
It's not here. No, it's not here. Oh, there it is. But it's.
Oh, I forgot to watch it.
That's a tough one with when you said like self-hatred is. There's so many ways you can go with it. I think you explained it really, really well. Having some sort of pain is healthy, is very normal. Like, because we as humans run away from pain faster than we'll run towards pleasure, like as in like reward. So if you're looking at things like reasons, if we have a bit of a pain point, we'll be a lot more motivated to get our shit going rather than, which is called like the stick, rather than the carrot, which is like, I want to have this awesome physique, especially on your bad days. Now, if it's driven with like exactly like what you said, with the foundation of self-hate or like extreme negativity, it's that association of like, it'll only be like that. This area of your life will only associate with just the negative parts of who you are. When there is also like pain is only there in doses when you need it, at like healthy amount. When a lot of the direction of where you're going, it needs to associate with self-love, self-care, things that's actually important to, like looking for more of a positive sense, yeah, that's literally it. So you explained it very, very well. I've got nothing else. Very well done.
Yeah, no, that's right. Like the negativity is not going anywhere. We're humans. Like you're never going to be able to eliminate that negative emotion because that's going to be reflex. Like look at, say, definitely myself, probably yourself as well. Like we've been training for fucking a very, very, very long time, and I'm sure a lot of people will look at even our physiques and be like, that's fucking awesome. A lot of people probably look at our physiques and be like, that's definitely very mediocre. but and at the same time, there'll be times where I look in the mirror, I'm like, fuck, I don't even look like I train.
Yeah.
You know? So that negativity is not going anywhere. There's always going to be a reflex. But if you base your progress and your results around that, and that's your only motivator to get you out of fucking bed,
It's not good.
it's not like unless you're some sort of genetic freak like David fucking Goggins who puts his earphones in and listens to his haters that he's self-recorded all the fucking negative comments and that fuels him. He's like, yeah.
But even that is just not. I think it's just like that is like a fuel, like that's like a fuel source that's going to be doused eventually. Like I'm not a big believer that when you're fueling your motivation's fueled by hate is not going to last long.
Yeah.
It's potent, but it will just absolutely destroy you more internally.
It's like doing meth. Like meth is going to give you that fucking hit, I assume. I don't know. Danny's the meth guy. Well, before we started this podcast, he used to be a meth addict.
Yeah. Glass barbecue.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, obviously meth will be a great time, right? It'll be a fucking awesome time. You're going to have lots of chats with really interesting people. But at the end of the day, you're only going to be doing that for a week before you're crashing out pretty hard. You got to sleep eventually, you know?
Can we just confirm?
Wow, I preferred the fire alarm metaphor.
Yeah. Can we just confirm? Just so the new listeners out there, I've never done meth. Jamie's a cunt.
It is what it is, man. I don't make the rules. But anyway, yeah.
Oh, very well
don't rely on hate. You shouldn't be hating at all. You can definitely have that negative influence, that negative sort of, like Danny said, the stick. Stick will typically get people going. But this fucking stick, eventually somebody's turning around, grabbing that stick and hitting the other person back with enough stick. You know, so...
You want too much stick.
Yeah, unless you really like that stick. Depends where they're hitting you, I guess.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Some people are into that shit. A bit of sub-dom action.
Time of day, time of night, you know.
If you're a sub and somebody... Anyway, next question. Let's go. Okay. All right.
My turn.
God. Why does it feel like I can only stick to a plan when I'm locked in?
Why?
Repeat that with a bit more. Sorry, I sort of ran through that.
That was really...
Why does it feel like I can only stick to a plan when I'm locked in?
Okay, locked in. That's a thing now. Hey, thank you, Davis Clark, for the profound catchphrase, locked in.
If you don't know who Davis Clark is, I highly recommend you do a Instagram search.
Look it up. He's he's a daily locked in kind of guy. Locked in, right? Let's talk about locked in real quick. So yeah, that's a new thing. That's like, but it's kind of a mentality that's never really gone anywhere. It's been here for decades. People say, you know, go hard or go home, be locked in, you know, all those type of things. All the same things. You're being focused, you're being dialed. Now, the issue with that, with being locked in, I have my opinions on this where people are like surround their identity or their beliefs around, I have to be locked in all the time. It's kind of similar to what we were saying before. A lot of these things are very short-lived. They don't really work that well. And that definitely ties into a lot of around the all or nothing. And this is the all or nothing dilemma. So it feels like I'm only able to see progress or move the needle when I'm focused, when I'm locked in, when I'm putting in 100%, you know, all those things are, you know, got all my ducks in line. How often does that actually happen? Especially in life, as us humans, even athletes, like all walks of life are going to be facing very human issues, either be relationship issues, family, work, any sort of adversity outside of life that's going to make you not feel as locked in, because we can't put our 100% effort in this space of our life unless there's a sacrifice elsewhere. It's just an energy thing, right? So the all or nothing dilemma is, especially being locked in all the time, causes problems, especially long term. Now, you can be locked in for short term. We say challenges. If you've got those foundations, you can do those things. That's fine. But if you surround your identity around this is actually what happens. So long term, you're going to see there's more pressure. There's high expectations. You actually start to resent this part of your life because you're associating there's like lack of enjoyment. You're associating being solely focused and objective, and you're kind of missing the point of what it's actually all about, which is to improve your quality lifestyle. And I find that there's a lot of people, and I would even dare say as coaches, who have this way of thinking where it can be quite destructive. And this is where a lot of people end up quitting. They just hate this part of their life because they're associating with, I have to be focused, no fucking around, no like all that type of stuff. when it doesn't really meant to be like that. So the issue with this is that it can be addictive as well. So there is like this reward and control loop cycle. So what I mean by that is that when we're locked in, it feels like we have this sense of control. So if you're an all or nothing person, when you feel like you're focused and you have everything in place, it feels like you have the most control. But as we know, life, we can't control everything in life. Things are out of our control. Life just happens. Shit happens and it sucks. When we lose that sense of control, the first thing that can impact people either can break down. So that line in the sand is you go below it, all hell breaks loose, can't do it, I fucked up, I'm this, I'm that. I'm skipping the gym. There's no point. I'll start next week or I'll start in a few months when life slows down. It's a black and white approach to goals where it's almost like a light switch. So when you're thinking of like, I am locked in, the light switch is on. And then when shit hits the fan, light switches, turns off. And then you're done. We don't want to be living life or have this space in our life like it's a light switch, where we can only be doing the thing where we are on, we're focused, 100%. There are times where you can, but if you surround your whole identity around this thing, it's only going to set you up for failure long term. So I want you to think of it more of like a dimmer, light dimmer, when there's going to be times where you can focus more, and there are times where life's going to get a bit crazy. Let's just say, for example, we're currently in August, what the fuck? We're moving into a period of where there's going to be, probably for the young people, or maybe even older, festivals, Christmas, weddings, whatever it may be. There are stages of these times of the year where things are going to start ramping up in terms of social life. Does that mean you're going to be locked in on your goals all year round, especially these great times of your life? Probably not. So you might have to dim down, your standard and focus on things that truly matter. This is normal. How do we overcome this? How do we manage this, especially work with this dimmer, is give yourself a bit of a buffer room. So some of you here, if you're an avid Split Shift pod listener, that went quick, is focus on the bare ass minimum. Exactly what Jimbo said last time. What can I do on my worst days possible, especially in the circumstances of that time of your life or of your year, whatever it may be? What is the realistic standard that you can set yourself on? And how do you measure that? So it may be like your best case scenario. You may be able to get your 4 sessions in, get your steps up, track your food, whatever it may be. But if you've got quotas at work, or if you've got issues at home, it may not be as realistic, because now you're going to set that standard too high and you've got pressure. Maybe locked in a little too hard, whatever it may be. So you have to be able to dim that light down and be able to say, hey, where's my bare ass minimum to say what can still move the needle, that can still see progress and consistency in. They can still give yourself a pat on the back to say that I'm proud of working through this. So it's an effective way of stacking wins. The key thing with looking at this is like moving forward is addressing that identity shift, or that identity is shifting your identity away from being this all or nothing, this locked in person. If you associate your like as a person that I am like extremely locked in the space of your life, I recommend looking out to say, what are the long-term implications of that, especially when life isn't going to let you be locked in, or be ultra focused or whatever it may be. So shift towards a more realistic approach to this space of your life, and we recommend balance. Oh, well, I'm not done yet. So shift towards a balanced approach towards, your health and fitness goals. And this is where you may have to look, thanks man. Yeah, this is where you may have to look to be a bit more real with your current circumstances to say, how can I work with this? So work with your buffer window, work with your bare ass minimum, work with your good days, and have an action plan so you can be able to move forward with clarity and consistency and confidence too. Now, the good thing about this, when we're thinking about balance, or we're thinking about a more of a realistic approach rather than this on and off switch, rather than being the dimmer, we talk about this a lot, is that our body adjusts over time. We didn't train. We've been, between two of us, we've been training for well over 2 decades in the gym. We've had really good days, bad weeks, awesome weeks, shit like that, but we kept showing up. But our baseline has naturally changed over time because our body adjusts. This is just what we do now. This is who we are. But it didn't start off like that. And we don't expect you to be, have to here now. If you keep that consistency train going, your baseline will naturally increase over time. Your standards will change. your identity will shift to say, I'm an active, healthy person, rather than be like, I just have to be locked in. But also you'll be able to make judgments for yourself to say, if I want to just hone in for the next month, like dry July, let's just say, for example, you can totally do that. That's so fine. But you have the back, like at least the foundations of, no, this is not part of who I am, rather than just something that I can just enjoy, like I can just do every now and then if I want to, because I'm just still going to show up for the stuff that actually matters, which is, it's up to you. It's your values. It's your fitness and health space. It's probably family space, your social space. You got different values that you give a fuck about, that you want to be able to put your energy into that. So you're working with those spaces or those parts of, what makes you in your life. And they're honestly quite symbiotic. So like, if they all work together in like cohesively, you'll just grow as an individual, So ultimately, locked in, it's fine in doses, but if you surround your whole personality towards just that all or nothing, you always, 95% of the time, always 100% of the time, you'll revert back to where you were before, and that can be an identity killer. So change that.
What the fuck? What's the point in having the fucking timer? Why do we even, what the hell?
What the helly? I don't know, bro.
Bro, 6 minutes is up, man. That's cooked. Anyway.
What do you got to say?
Let me talk about it. Whoa. You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, you wouldn't get it. Go watch Shane Gillis.
You wouldn't get it. Anyway, Dan's going to make a move there. Yeah, locked in. Locked in, eh?
Locked in.
So what I want you to do is take on all that advice that old Daniel just said, because I think it's great. And I think it's great. And I have one more thing to say about it, because I think all that's very valid. And if you do all that, then you'll be fucking 10 times better than other people. One thing that I've noticed with people that do get locked the fuck in and really only make progress when they are locked in, they don't know what to do when they're not locked in. So they don't, not only, yes, we always talk about the baselines, the foundations, making sure that you have the fucking things. The problem is, they have too much negotiation when they have too much negotiation. They have too much fuck.
They have too much fuck. They've been fucking.
They have too much negotiation with themselves. They have too much room for negotiation when they're not locked in. So if they're locked in, it's zero negotiation, right? It's off. It's fully off. It's like we are on, it's locked in, it's done. When they are not locked in, they are like, okay, I have these goals. I want to move my body every day. I want to track my food. I just want to do the basics, But it's okay if I don't eat what I said I was going to eat, because I can eat this instead. It's going to be pretty close to the calories, and it's fine, I prepped that food, but I'm going to go out for lunch instead. It's fine. Which is fine, right? It's totally fine. That turns into, oh, no, I'm going to go out for dinner as well because, fucking my friend's in town, and I'm focusing on flexibility, and I can negotiate with myself. It's totally fine because I'm not focusing on locking in. I'm focusing on, a lifestyle. So I'm making better choices. Becomes Chinese whispers after a while. And before you know it, you negotiate with yourself so much that nothing you set really matters anymore. Nothing you actually set as a goal matters to you, because you're like, well, I can actually just negotiate with myself as long as it's like a decent option. Decent options become really, really fucked up. After a little while of making decent options, those decent options become pretty shit options, Maybe options that won't get you to where you want to get to, and then eventually options that will take you back to where you started. So when you are coming from being somebody that fully locks in all the time, and that's how you base your results, and that's how you base your lifestyle, it's important that you shift into setting more achievable results or achievable goals day to day, week to week, but do not fucking negotiate with yourself. Maybe bring the flexibility scale down really fucking slowly and adjust to it. So let's say if you're going from doing an 8-week challenge to living a life where you want to sustain it, maybe don't go straight back to, I'm going to just move every day and, maybe I'll write my food down, but only if I feel like it sort of thing. Maybe go to, okay, instead of doing, 3 fucking workouts a day or whatever, I'm going to make sure I get to the gym on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And if they're my days, I'm making sure I'm hitting them on those fucking days. I'm not negotiating with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, once you can trust yourself to be okay without that challenge or without that full locked in mindset, then from there, maybe build that out a little bit. Maybe from there, I'd be like, I'm a bit tired on Thursday, but I've got time Friday. Then I can shift it to Friday. Only once you can fully back yourself. So at no point are you getting to the end of that week and not having ticked all those boxes that you committed to at the start of the week. That's what I've noticed with a lot of people that come from that locked in space. They just do not know how to live a lifestyle without having that negotiation. So they can still set small goals, learn about how their lifestyle actually looks, future project, and actually plan ahead for the week ahead and or the month ahead, taking into account work, taking into account kids, taking into account all other areas of their life that can come into and affect this area. Take all those things into account and set targets, clear targets around those things, but do not fucking negotiate with yourself. Maybe, bring the flexibility toward, bring it towards more of a flexible scale, but in a way where you can fully fucking commit to it without that negotiation. Anyway, that's my sort of 2 cents.
Very well said, man. Make non-negotiables. Yeah, realistic non-negotiables. I absolutely agree with that too. That's absolutely bang on. Like, it's so true. It goes with the promises that you keep initially. What you say you're going to do, and you're just starting to peel back a little bit of that standard, just a little bit by bit, because it seems so insignificant until it starts to compound more. And then what you're left with this whole big version of you is now this, but it just didn't seem like it felt like it wasn't even a drastic change. That's when people say, like, with someone that's, coming to me and they say, I've gained 20 kilos, but I still eat the same. And I'm like, no, obviously your habits have shifted a lot. You just didn't realize it. It's because it's slowly, just chipped away over time, like Chinese whispers, allowed us to drop the standard. And look, it's a lot of the time people don't realize this, and it's not necessarily their fault for, like, they directly sabotage themselves. This is a more of an indirect thing where they're like, it's just things shift, things change, standards change, but also the promises they keep to themselves change as well. And it just little bit by bit over time. So it's just a matter of just catching yourself, recognizing that, knowing where that baseline truly is. So yeah, I love that.
And also having that locked in mindset, a lot of it's often external.
Yes.
Like it's with, say, a coach or a weight loss challenge or whatever it is. Their identity is, I can not negotiate with myself. I can commit to something as long as it's somebody else or something else making me do it. People struggle to back themselves. People struggle to set a target for themselves without external factors or external influence and actually follow through with it. So I think the first thing to do after you first lock in is learn to set a fucking target and stick to it. And that may still sound like locking in, and people are often scared of that. I don't want to be too obsessive because I've done all these challenges before. Don't think of it like that. Think of it like I'm fucking showing myself self-respect. I'm showing up for myself, and I'm teaching myself that I can back up what I say. If you can sort of shift it like that, this whole area becomes so much easier, because when you do have negotiation, I was talking to one of my clients literally, it was last night in a session last night, because this exact sort of thing started happening. The negotiation started seeping in. We're really gonna wrap this up, otherwise I think in a fucking thing, but whatever. I related it to when we were doing the runs. The runs. I did 4 fucking runs before this marathon, but one of our friends,
true story,
who now has a significant heart condition and no longer did the marathon with us. So when we were doing the runs before, to preface, we would do a run, we'd set, okay, we're gonna do 30 Ks, we're not gonna stop. We're running 30 Ks, we go 0 to 30, we run the whole time, then we're done. Celebrate, cool, get a coffee, go home. The way he had to run, because he didn't have the practice, he didn't have that sort of mindset around it, he would run, say, 5, stop, run another 5, stop, and we'd all do that, That run was the hardest fucking run I've ever done in my life, because what it does in your head starts thinking, oh, it's okay if I stop. You have that room for negotiation, so now your brain's telling you it's okay to stop. It's okay to stop. And it makes it so much harder to get that result. Makes it so much harder to get to that fucking end goal because it's okay if you don't do it. It's okay if I don't go for that walk. I can do it another day. I don't feel like it today. It's okay if I don't have my meal prep for lunch. They got awesome little sandwiches at the cafe. If it's okay to stop and if it's okay to not follow through, your results will be 10 times harder to get. I'm not even fucking kidding you.
It's true.
It's insane. It's
true.
insane.
That subconscious reflex, like it's training the subconscious mind, knowing they say like you got to have that line in the sand to say no, I can't. It's like we're not stopping. And you're right. That was easily the hardest run I've ever done in my life.
Harder than marathons.
It was
harder.
awful.
I've done 3 fucking marathons. That run was harder. Dead set. It's like
100%.
1/3, like 2/3 of the fucking distance.
Very, very true. Very, very true. So if you have that like that standard, you keep backing yourself that. Not even consciously, you'd be like, oh, I could stop, or I could do this. But you're like, subconsciously, you're like, nah. Because I've got so much evidence to say that I don't do that.
Yes.
But anyhow.
We're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe, comment your questions, give us some feedback. If you're on Spotify, give us 5 stars. You can also comment on this on this podcast episode as well. We do this every single week. We try to answer your questions. So if you have any questions, put them in, send them through, even DM us on Instagram. We'll put that in there too. And if you like us and you want to get coached by one of us, you can do that too if you want. No pressure. We're just here to give you some valuable info that's going to hopefully help your journey and improve your life. So this is the Split Shift Pod.
Also, let us know if you think Dan's finally going to fucking win a game of chess or not. Because
I'm doing my studying, bro. Doing my studying. We'll see you next week.
it's on that chess.com. All that shit. Oh, yeah, also, how's I signed up for chess.com without knowing, like years ago, and I was getting debited by them for like 6 months. But I never, no. So I never signed up to chess.com.
I don't even know what chess.com is.
Chess.com is a website where you play chess online. You know?
Wasn't that for free on like your old Windows?
I think so. Potentially. Either way, I was getting debited for ages. And yeah, chase it up with Combank, all that sort of stuff. I didn't pay for it. I didn't subscribe to it. Anyway, goodbye.
I reckon it's because you watched that fucking, what is that chess movie, that chess show?
Oh, Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit. I reckon
I'm
you finished
playing. What a great show, by the way. All right, goodbye.
Goodbye.